Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Hope you all are doing good. So what we'll cover in today's video is a continuation of our previous video regarding the classification of mutual funds. And the basis of classification that we'll be covering today is based on investment goals and the last one that is specialized mutual funds. So let's get going. So the points for today's discussion would be growth funds, income funds, liquid funds, tax saving funds, aggressive growth funds, and pension funds. So these all are basis the investment plans that the mutual funds are divided into. So these basically are the subcategories under classification based on investment goals. So let's study each of them one by one. To start with growth fund. So growth fund is the fund that majorly allocates a considerable portion in shares and growth sector both. This is one of the riskier plans because definitely the investor here is looking for the growth of the money, right? And not a decent one. अगर decent चाहिएगा, then he can directly invest in debt. So he wants something that is volatile and that is directly exposed to equity, but the sector should be a growth relevant sector. So definitely it's a riskier plan and possibility is there for a higher return. Definitely with risk comes the return. So higher the risk, higher the return. Next is income funds. So what these income funds basically are, this belongs to the family of debt. That is, it distributes money in the mix of bonds, certificate of deposit and securities. So यहाँ पे again we'll have a fixed income, and this is the one whereby the investor is looking for a fixed income, maybe a passive income, and a fixed return from the investment that he has put in. Similar to FD, but not as secure as FD. This is some form of deposit that maybe the company is looking for. So that type of deposits are actually considered for investment by a fund manager for the pool of money that he or she has received. Next comes the liquid fund. So liquid fund again is a family of debt. The NAV here is basically considered and calculated for all the 365 days, including even Sundays. Whereas for all the other funds, it only calculated on business days. Liquid funds are basically the funds whereby the investor is investing this for the purpose of short duration only because he is having no other ideal opportunity of investment to put his money into. So instead of putting this into a saving bank account and earning 2-3% interest that is there currently in the market, instead it's better to earn 6 to 7% return by investing in liquid funds where the fund is safe and definitely no exit load is there. If we consider all other mutual funds, definitely exit load is there. But for this one, we don't have any exit load. Why? Because the whole and sole purpose of this fund introduction was to provide the investor with the safest mode of investment, which is easy to move in, easy to move out, with a decent enough return, decent as in the return that is close to FD, not even FD rate. FD is close to 5.55 for some banks, but this would provide you a return of 6 to 7% on an average annual return. So wherever any investor is not having any decent enough or ideal investment opportunity, he'll put his money over here. And that's the ideal utilization of money that is available free with you. Next one is tax saving or the ELSS one. ELSS, the name means equity linked savings scheme. So here, this mutual fund basically provides the benefit of wealth maximization in the form of investment and also allows you to save tax. So here, the equity related stocks and scripts are taken, but as this is a tax saving benefit, so only blue chip and good stocks are picked by the fund manager to provide safety to the investor. Though it's risky and it's volatile, but it's not that risky as good as the growth funds or as good as the core equity funds. Here, a major portion of the fund is actually taken for the equity portion, and the stocks that the fund manager will choose are the blue chips one. Those who have a fundamental background, definitely only then those can be used. For the lock-in period, for any tax deduction that we do, investment-based tax deduction under Section 80C, the lock-in period generally is 5 years or above. In case you go for a term deposit for a 80C, it's 5 years, right? In case you invest in PPF, it's 15 years to get the exemption in 80C. In case you invest in NPS, right? You can't take it till you are at the age of 60 years. So if say a person invests at the age of 25 or 26, so for next 35 years that money is blocked to get the exemption, right? So this ELSS one is, you'll get a decent enough profit return as well, that is in the range of 12 to 16%. Rest depends upon how the fund and the fund manager has chosen the scripts and the allocation. But the lock-in period is lowest in comparison to all the other investment-based deductions that we have in income tax law. That is 3 years. Coming to the next one, aggressive growth funds. So aggressive growth funds are basically the riskier one. These are taken with the core benefit to make steep monetary gains. So the first one that we saw today was growth funds. Now these are aggressive growth funds, even riskier than that. Definitely, it's taken to get the advantage of market volatility, but it's suggested to take only a portion of your portfolio with this aggressive growth mutual funds in case you are investing in mutual funds. And this definitely is not prescribed for the elder people, definitely young guys who are actually not in requirement of money and they have their major bread earning income separately, definitely they can put this amount in aggressive growth funds and they can take the volatility on action and actually see how the result is there till the long period. Next one is pension fund. So pension fund basically are taken into consideration while the investment is done in NPS. So in case you open an NPS account or maybe you open Atal Pension Yojana account similar to that sort, so the funds that the fund manager selects are pension funds based, because here the whole and sole purpose is to get a fixed income after that maturity age. So suppose I take the example of NPS. So after 60 years of your age, you'll get a fixed monthly equated payments from that corpus that you have accumulated. So even here, the whole idea is to accrue a long-term period benefit. This is to secure your financial future. जैसे कहते हैं ना बुढ़ापे का बंदोबस्त करना. So pension funds belong to that category. After retiring from employment, you will have some corpus to actually use it for your day-to-day expenses and for your day-to-day needs. The average return that this pension funds offer, suppose we take example of HDFC, ICICI. So the annual average return ranges from 13 to 16%. That has been seen from a study of at least 5 years period. So the next classification that we have of mutual fund is basis the specialization. So specialization basis mutual funds are as these are the six specialized mutual funds. The first one is sector fund. The next is index. Then comes funds of funds, emerging market, international or foreign trade, and the real estate funds. So let's understand these one by one. So sector funds, these are the funds that solely invest in one specific sector or theme based. Such as suppose if I take a mutual fund that is corely focusing on banking, if I have an assumption that definitely banks are going to flourish in the coming economy and without banks the economy can't progress, right? Financial change जो है that is created only by banks. So suppose I am very confident about banking system having a boom in coming 5 to 10 years. So I'll then accordingly take the mutual fund that is focusing on banking sector. If I'm confident that the Indian economy based IT industry will rock for the coming decade, so definitely then I'll take IT focused sector funds, right? These are there when you witness huge and consistent growth for the coming periods. Basis that the investor actually selects those mutual funds. The next is index fund. Index funds are basically for passive investors who are looking for a decent enough percentage of return basis the index. So these basically is a investment in the index. So suppose in Sensex you want to invest, right? So you can't invest as is. You'll have to buy those shares in the same proportion that Sensex is calculating, and then you'll get a return as good as Sensex. So in this fund, what the fund manager actually does, he accumulates overall pool of money and then he takes the same proportion of index oriented funds to have a overall average during a period same as the index that we have, may it be Sensex, may it be Nifty, basis that. Coming to the funds of funds. So funds of fund is basically a multi-manager mutual fund. This is a fund that invests in mutual funds rather than investing in several achieve of diversification. So this one is the one whereby you are actually investing in some other mutual fund, funds of funds. So suppose I already have a growth fund, and this new fund is actually created to put all the money in growth fund, right? I am already having a growth fund, or suppose say I am already having a sector fund, right? IT sector based fund. And now this fund is actually created to put all the money in this. So basis the return of this, then the cost of the fund manager actually managing this fund of fund would be deducted, and it would be somewhat close to this. So suppose sector fund से मुझे 14% on an average return आया for say last 4-5 years. So funds of fund में it would be a lower one, close to 13.6 or something of that sort. So जो cost additional deduct होगा, that would be the management cost and the permanent the fund manager cost that we are deducting. So this basically is good because in this the cost is down at the same time coming to a direct investment. अगर मैं direct किसी म्यूचुअल फंड में डालूंगा, सपोज मैंने सेक्टर बेस में डाला या फिर मैंने इमर्जिंग मार्केट में डाला, तो डेफिनेटली द कॉस्ट दैट वी आर गोइंग टू incur in that, the cost of mutual fund will be higher, the percentage would be higher. But when coming to funds of funds, because here the fund manager doesn't need to do anything, he directly needs to accumulate the fund and put it in some other mutual fund. So here the cost is really low and even the risk is lower. The next one is emerging market fund. So to invest in developing markets, this is considered as a risky bet. It has undergone negative returns too because here the fund manager is assuming he's based on some study, based on some notions, he's getting a viewpoint that this market will actually flourish in coming years. Definitely that may not be the case in real, right? So, but when the bet is for the coming future, we have even seen that the returns are negative for these funds. It is really a dynamic one, and the investors are looking for a higher returns from the domestic stock market. During that period, they invest in emerging market based funds. Next one is international or foreign trade ones. So to invest in other countries, foreign mutual funds, the investors can get good return even when Indian market performs well. So these are the ones whereby the investors can actually sitting in India invest in the international and foreign trade based investment, whereby the fund manager will actually allocate a portion of that mutual fund to global asset class basically. Next comes the real estate funds. So, despite the real estate boom in India, many investors are hesitant to invest in such projects. Real estate funds can be a perfect alternative, being indirect participant by putting their money in established real estate company or trust rather than project. So, directly कोई property purchase करना with the small money that you are having, it's better to actually put the same in real estate based funds, because see, in case you are agreeing and you are having that notion that real estate will boom in coming 5 years, right? And you don't have that much capital to actually buy a property and keep. So what you can do is you can put that money in real estate based mutual fund, REIT. That is, these trusts will actually invest the corpus that is accumulated from investors like you into making the projects live on ground and actually selling them. So the returns from that will actually be catered to you in form of return from this mutual fund. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for hearing out. Hope you liked it. Yeah, as this is Christmas to New Year week, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thanks.